Okay, thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asrofil anbiya wal mursalin sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi washabihi ajmain. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Amma ba'du. Dear brothers and sisters who are already attending this international conference, it's kind of the pleasure for me having you all here. And then I also would like to sincere my thank you to the committee for allowing me to share the experience in regard of the halal matters. So we move to the something general that we already heard during the yesterday and today. So I will try to focus our mind to the something that locally. It is my presentation right now is would like to promote about the policy of Indonesia in regard of the halal industry. As we know that halal is become a growing concern at this moment, not only concern but also open all the business to around the world. So having said that, Indonesia intend to become a hub in the halal industry, and as we know that Indonesia is the most populous Muslim country in the world. So this is given a huge opportunity for Indonesia government to also engage in the halal industry in the global, and then try to become a primary player in this halal industry. However, if we're talking about halal industry, we're not talking about merely about the business, about the money, but also we're talking about the syiar, about the value that have been explicitly stated in our Holy Quran. So based on that introduction, so let's be digging about the halal food industry as a good command, God commands and business in these occasions. And then try to see about the quotes of the day. Knowledge is a light that Allah places in the heart. So through international conference, I hope that our knowledge is already put in your heart and also your mind, and then increase your horizon in regarding of the whatever the topic. But I wish that also will give a good new knowledge about the halal industry in Indonesia. And then there is also our Prophet Muhammad SAW, peace be upon him, say that a time will come upon the people wherein in a man will not bother what he intakes, whether from halal source or haram. Now we are in that kind of the situations. However, because we have the Holy Quran as our guidelines, life guidelines, perhaps that we already in the good path, even though the Prophet is already say about that. So why the halal is matter for us? Because it is about Allah commands, and then I just quote for the couple of ayat, but several ayat is already been there talking about the why Muslims should be concerned about the halal consumption. And then in Indonesia, halal is become a warranty to have the halal product. So government, because Indonesia is mostly Muslim country, so it is kind of the responsible of government to also provide the halal product to all the Indonesian Muslim people. And then it's already stated in the law number 33 in 2014. It just recently talking about the halal concern, even though there is some of the introduction or initiations about the halal product. And I try to also quote of the about the Allah command. So he said that Ya ayuhan nasu kulu min etc. And then said that all mankind eat of that which is lawful and good and on the earth, and follow not the footstep of Shaitan. Verily, he is to open your enemy. So Satan is always around us, and then always whispering us to do something maksiat or do something bad. But he said that he's forbidden for you only the maita, that animal, blood, the flesh of swine, and which is slaughtered as a sacrifice for other than Allah. But it is one is forced by necessity without willful disobedience or not transgressing due limit, then there is no sin of him. Truly, Allah is forgiving and most merciful. So it said it is only several consumption. It's very a few material that considered not halal. But why people still looking for something not halal? That's why if we're talking about the halal and haram, so this is kind of the haram material. It's already clearly stated in Al-Quran or in Al-Baqarah and also Al-Ma'idah. So I will skip this one. And then something also mentioning about the hadith is considered about the something that's is not lawful for us, and also due to the advance of science. So it is also become influence to the halalness of the product. Now we really also considers about we need about the ijtima from ulama. Having said that, Indonesia halal product is determined also with the engagement of ulama. So not only scientists recommendation, but also the ulama recommendation is become the fatwa. It's become the fundament of the product, whether it is considered of halal or not. So why? What are halal products? So halal product is a product, food, beverage, medicine, cosmetics, and other that are derived from halal material. Since preparation, process, production, packaging, storage, distribution, and service in accordance with Islamic halal, it also not harmful and of good quality. We call this halalan toiban. This halalan toiban is also become a distinguished our product. Indonesia, our legislation, regulation about the halal, that all product come to Indonesia, it should be not only halal, but also toyib. It means that it's healthy, it's not harmful and hygienic, and then also it's not dangerous to body or also to environment. So that's kind of the halalan toyiban is become the consideration whether this product is become halal or not, or certified is halal or not. Halal product are better than non-halal. We have to be admitted for that, because halal product must be the safety and quality requirement before being certified halal. And halal product also considered more transparent in their ingredients information, because during the halal certification process, detailed audit of all ingredient is carried out, explained and documented. So that's kind of the benefit if we would like to consume about the halal product. So this is halal product right now. The clear halal, we already know it is consists of the vegetables and the material from the sea. So it's considered halal. And then clear halal, haram is also clear. But again, we face the complexity of product, material, and process right now. So we need something that clearly determined, because subhat material is also surrounding us. And then God said that if you find the subhat substance, it's a better you leave it. So that's why Indonesia, the engagement of ulama is become fundament to determine of the halal of not, because the advancement of scientists also is become a challenge for us to see whether this product is halal or not, because the important halal, the important of halal good thing is that it has to be able to be traced or traceable. So with the advancement of science, sometimes the product with using the simple equipment such as PCR, for instance, we cannot detect whether it is have something haram substance or not. But due to the increasing of the laboratorium equipment, so such as in Thailand, for instance, so we can detect whether it is halal or not. Not only in food, but also cosmetic around us is also become our concern regarding about the halalness of it. So having said that, complexity was rise due to scientific advance, especially in traceable, as I mentioned before, and convenience product, regulatory requirement, and compliance ethical and cultural consideration. So now is not become the, I mean, talking about the halal auditor of if you become the auditor of halal is not easy to perform, because there is many product, many process that we have to dealing about that become this product and then consider and then give the halal certification, such as filtering, decolorization. Sometimes we really don't know, especially or maybe in putting ingredients, additional ingredients is sometimes also we have to be careful. Maybe the raw material is halal for the from the halal source, but I mean during the process we may find something with it undoubtful or doubtful for us, and then we have to go to the further analysis for this kind of data to prove whether this is a substance that content in the product is this considered of halal. So reason the word needs halal, first is religious compliance of Muslim, and then enhance food safety, quality, and health, ethical as responsible consumption, and then market expansion and business opportunity, because with a global Muslim right now, we have over 1.9 billion, making a significant and growing market demand for halal certified product across various industry, including food, cosmetic, and pharmaceuticals, and also appeal to non-Muslim consumers due to the high standard for cleanliness, safety, and ethical, have attracted a broader audience. So I mean, this give a huge opportunity for industrialists or people who concern in the enterprises, because if you would like to digging about the halal market or halal industry, I mean it's very open opportunity to you to dealing with that. So halal is in a business system, and I draw this one because there is so many layer. In fact, that's why I told you it's not easy to. We need very careful to determine whether this product is considered halal or not. Even though we're talking about the business, halal is not a label output to output, perhaps, but it is the operating of logic govern how business runs. It includes ethical conduct, governance, accountability, and responsibility across economic activity. So if we see about the halal in business sector, it would be not it would easy to determine whether it's product or halal or not. But I mean, halal system is not only about the product, it's not only about the output, but you have to be considered many layers before you determine, before you declare that your product is halal or not. And then let's see to the business side at this moment, as I mentioned in the title. So at this moment, market size offer about 3 trillion by 24, maybe because we are now in the 2026, maybe it's already in case. Halal industry or halal market or halal business is become the second who have a high growing concern after the economic sharia. Now halal is become the put in the market share is number 2, and then mostly the food is also offer the highest market shares compared with the other halal product. And then because 70% of people need food, need eat meals and drink. So that's why I mean it's already give opportunity for that. And then how about Indonesia in halal market? According to the research in 2024, in fact that mostly the important country that import the halal product or export their halal product is dominated by the country is non-Muslim country, such as Brazil, India, US, Russian federations, is according to the data 24. mostly is not come from the Muslim country. So having said that, this is for Indonesia government, this is become the opportunity to make the, we call this foreign halal agency in many countries, and then we train the auditor from overseas to also engage and comply with the Indonesian regulation. This we would like, because that we would like to protect our halal business in that global realm. So having said that, we try to move forward and then try to the strengthening in many aspects in regard to halal industry. Because Indonesia right now is become the biggest halal biggest country in terms of the food import. So this is also become our challenge, how we can flip up this situation, and Indonesia is not become the big one in the halal food import, but it also become the important player to export our goods to Indonesia, to around the world. This is a kind of the challenge that feel with the halal industry in Indonesia, such as lack of workforce that understand all the Sharia related required application in halal industry. So this challenge is already engaged by the SKKNI, or standard competency or international standard competency for workforce. So everybody who dealing with the halal process, such as a supervisor and also auditor, and also slaughtering man, is considered as the professional. So they have to be trained according to the national standard certificate. So it already become to the highest level for the workforce in the halal industry. And then consistent accreditation, implementation, and globally accepted halal management system, that's also become our concern. Alhamdulillah, I will let you know why it's also become a challenge for Indonesia, but bit a bit, we try to solve this problem. And then fewer halal auditor who understand technical aspect related to pharmaceutical, cosmetic, food, and as well as the concept halal. So having said that, if we would like to become the auditor, we train people, and then the auditor is become the professional, the profession in Indonesia. So it's not become the below the, but it's become the profession right now. And then lack of effective marketing strategy, we have to be admit, because especially for the meat abattoir, we very still limited to have the abattoir has certified by halal. And then minimal adoption of technology, we have to be admit right now, as I mentioned before, yeah. And then inadequate infrastructure, and then limitation of existing integrating halal supply chain, and then a reliance on import, because Indonesia right now has become the biggest country to import the halal product from overseas. And then according to the Vidya Stuti, we have to please be considered about the 5 factor if we would like to develop halal industry to the excellent level. This is policy, human resources, socialization, infrastructure, and also procedure. And it should be involved every single economic stakeholder, since government, consumers, investor, industry, and then also maximizing the role of stakeholders. So the stakeholder is not only become the apparatus or accessories, but they have to also active engage in the development of halal industry Indonesia. And then now we have already master plan industry halal Indonesia. So it's kind of the roadmap of how we go to the halal industry in Indonesia. And then it's already incorporate what the important factor if we would like to develop and then we would like to play as an important country in the global halal industry. And then this is international recognition as mentioned. So our effort to put the halal industry in Indonesia to the excellent level, it has been recognized by the international community. And then Haikal Hasan is the chairman of the our coordinating body of halal procedure national has been appointed as the president of the International Halal Standard World Council. So the member of this council is 20 countries, and then this marked a significant step in enhancing Indonesian global halal diplomacy, because he always actively advocating for international collaboration and harmonization in halal standard of Ubran. Because according to my experience, every country has a different procedure to determine whether it's halal or not in terms of their product. Having said that, we need to the international standardization. So when certain product come to the certain country, it would not become the questionable again for that country, and then accepted as this become halal product if we have the solid and then one framework which is can guarantee that the halal which has been certified is also accepted to all many countries. And then according to the halal status from the SGIC, and then Indonesia is projecting Muslim consumer will be will be increased in terms of spending 3.36 trillion. It's not million, it's trillion. So then the zero it's become 9 then in dollars in 2028, and then Indonesia will become the third globally in Islamic economic performance. Even though when we see from below figure here that we already become number one in fashion. So we, mostly Muslim fashions is exported by Indonesia, and then Indonesia is become the focus or reference to determine the halal fashion. But in terms of the halal food which is consumed by anybody, is we still number 4. It is become a challenge as well for anybody who dealing with the halal industry, especially in food and beverage. So perhaps that in the next maybe next couple years, Indonesia is also become have the excellent level, not only in the fashions but also in halal food, because 70%, as I mentioned before, is dealing with the halal food market. And then back to Indonesia, Indonesia is already regulated that we call this Wajib Halal Oktober, and then it's compulsory for any product, whether trading and then consumes and also coming to Indonesia in 2026 have to be halal, and if non-halal have to also put the label of non-halal. So later on in Indonesia is only have 2 kind of the product, halal or non-halal, and it has become mandatory in 2026, especially for the we not only dealing with the huge company, but also Indonesia is dealing with the small macro and small medium enterprise, as we know that mostly our Muslim country is spend money in that level. So if we, having said that, Indonesia and then our government has already released a self-declare for 1,350,000 self halal free given to the small and then micro enterprises who would like to obtain the halal product. So in coming of the Ramadan, perhaps that is also become the opportunity for the our small and medium enterprises and micro to obtain the halal product, because especially during the Ramadan, Muslim will be spend more money to buy some food as well. So it is become the huge business as well for the agency of the product halal assurance, or maybe assistant agency for the halal assistant for the halal inspection, like Asafia Halal Center. So as I mentioned before, that is the halal certification Indonesia process. and it's already, even though it's already rise in 2014, and then we need 20 hours, this become a mandatory. As I mentioned, it's not easy to try to persuade anybody that halal, even though it's already started in our Holy Quran, but yeah, I mean, still have some kind of neglected regarding the consumption of halal. So this is a halal industry that product enter, distribute, and marketed should be come to the possessing the halal certification in that kind. And then the in principle halal assurance system Indonesia is consists about protection, justice, legal certainty, accountability, effective efficiency, value added, and competitiveness. And this kind of the charter or the flow is not similar with other countries. And then some said that Indonesia is very complicated if they would like to enter, we like to import export their good to Indonesia. But we have to stick with our regulation because we would like to protect our Muslim in the world, in our country. So this is kind of the product that we have to be having certified halal is not only goods but also in the service as well, since the slaughtering, processing, storaging, packaging, distribution, trading, and serving should be have the halal certified in that service. So this is the basis for determining halal. So we call this SGPH. It is the halal product assurance system. And then this halal product assurance system has been developed not only by the ulama but also the scientists and also the government who already understands about the positive law and also about the Sharia and also about our regulation itself. So that's this come up with this regulation that should be followed by any product that will be marketed, consumed, and distributed in Indonesia. And then also have to be comply with the process itself, and then what kind of the material, it's also have to be audited, have to be inspected. So these three bases of the system have to be audited very considerable to determine whether a product is considered halal or not. So the 5 criteria of the SPGPH, and it is very fundamental to understand if we would like to have the halal, our product is halal certified, because this become a cycle. It's not only talking about the product, but it's also talking about the commitment of the people. So it's not only talking about the something goods, or also talking about the people itself. And even monitoring and evaluation also involved to make sure that all the product that come to your table is really halal. So what is the benefit of SGPH implementation is can be maintain the consistency, raise internal halal awareness, provide guidance, and then prevent any case of non-halal product if it come to the we call this contamination of substance during the process, regulatory compliance, enhanced economic growth. It's already become the research found that product, it has in our product, local, our enterprises, having the halal certification, it increase their market, increase their income, double or triple, because they're able to also export their good to other countries, because halal product is not only prefers but the non-Muslim, but the Muslim, but also prefers to the Muslim itself. So this is material critical category. It is very critical, and then we call this critical and non-critical. And then due to the high to the advance of the science, and we will dealing with this kind of the critical, highly critical, and then it again need a sophisticated traceable equipment is whether to determine this is halal or not, especially in terms of the mixing process, in terms of the additional ingredients, or even of the additional which normally put in the product, try to be attractive or be more more practical, and they put something or substance which is not really clear whether it is halal substance or not. So halal production process, I mean, this is consists of the eight of the factor, and then since the planning until documentation, it have to be covered if you would like to obtain the halal certificate, whether from overseas and also from local. And then this is the even though it looks so complicated, but it's not. I mean, it's not really complicated. I just would like to share, to show you that when you try to apply for the halal certification, it is involving many process. It's not easy. That's why I mean some overseas company complaining about that. That because it's so it's many detail. I mean it's have to be processed with many layers something. But I mean this is a feature, as I mentioned before. We try to protect the halal product which come to the table of the Muslim, our people, to the Muslim people. So it have to be really, really product. And that's why, I mean, we have the name tag that the halal product have to be responsible and will be responsibility not only in the world, but also here and after. That's why, I mean, this is the, as I mentioned, it's only 21 days for having the halal certification, and then this is the sample of the halal certification. It mentions about the name of the company and also the number, the ID number, and have to be put in the every packaging if the halal logo in their product. So this is the last achievement of the BPJPH or our halal dealing with the halal. And then right now for the product with already halal certified is 11. So BPJPH is already issued 11 halal certification, more than 11 million halal certification has been issued, not only to the micro and small enterprises, to all countries, even for the foreign product come to Indonesia is also accommodated by BPJPH. So that's why, I mean, if we're talking about the 11, but it's not enough. We still have to be dealing about 35,000 company around the world, and then need to be a halal product in Indonesia. Now this is the last session. I would like to take opportunity for during this presentation for introducing the halal Asafia Halal Center. Asafia has already established the Asafia Halal Center, knowing that there is huge opportunity and also the CR behind that. Indonesia and then Asafia Halal Center established to call on, I mean, respond to the calling of the recent situation right now. And then we just 1 year launching on the January last year, and then it's already 1 year, and we already developed more than one, not many, still very limited. It's only 1,000 halal certification has been issued from the Asafia Halal Center, even though our vision is to become a center of excellence, but again, it's still far to go. But we do our best to achieve this kind of the vision. And then this is our structure, and then the head of the Dewan Pembina, or we call this advisor, is the Professor Dailami Firdaus. So he's also become our mainly advisor in regard of this halal Asafia Halal Centers. And then this is the opportunity or the benefit of halal center: is educational resources, certification support, research and development, community engagement, business opportunity, promote of cultural significance, networking, collaboration, support for halal Muslim, and etc. And also for the economy. And then this is we already set up the critical success factor for this one. And currently we try to establish the halal inspection agency. Maybe I wish that next month will be established and can be legally operated to audit mostly, more wider company Indonesia and also overseas if we already established the halal inspection agency. And then this is the current status. We still have a halal product process assistant. This is the embryo for to become the halal assurance agency later on. And then we have been trained more than 700 individual, even though not 700 has been actively engaged to helping our micro and small enterprises obtaining the halal certification, but at least that it will be done in this year. And then halal product assurance assistant supervision, and then we cordially invited you, anybody, because I know that from the attendance there is so many people here, I would like to cordially invite you to join in we call this Sahabat AHC or Asafi Halal Center Friends as a halal product process assistant. And then in 2026, this already offered by BPJPA, 1,350,000 halal certification will be given free. So this has become also opportunity if anybody would like to dedicate to become a halal supervisor, halal activist. So we try to spread out the message of our Al-Quran. Also in the same time, also we try to activate our economic growth in local and also in global. So it's easy, and then you can reach our website, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. I really cordially invite you, all of you, to already to this. Again, so that's all the slide that I've been mentioned. So I wish that it will be increase your knowledge about the halal, especially in terms of halal regulation in Indonesia. And now we also pushing ourselves to become the important player in the international global halal production. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum. Syukron jazilan. Terima kasih. I return to the moderator.
All right, terima kasih. Thank you so much, Dr. Indarjani, for giving us a comprehensive insight about the halal studies and also the invitation for sure to all of the audience to be connected with the Asyafi'iyah Halal Center. All right, so actually, Dr. Indarjani, since the time limitation, I think we can only address one question because we have to continue with the presentation sessions. All right, so I'm going to read the questions from the audience. All right. So the question is coming from Dita Harisma. So doctor, given that over 90% of Indonesia economy is driven by MSMEs or micro, small, medium enterprises and ultra micro enterprises, do you believe that the ecosystem is fully prepared for mandatory halal implementations? And what structural adjustment may still be needed to ensure inclusivity and compliance? Thank you.
Okay, it's very good questions for that. So last week I entered the assistant. We call it so because there is so many layer in terms of the halal regulations. We can reach the company. So I try to see the small, medium. So we call this the pendamping halal, or assistant for the halal product assurance system for the small and micro enterprises. And then there is the new regulation. It started on 2024 that everybody who already have the onset, economic onset or business onset less than 2 million, because it's already because before is only 5,000 million. 500,000 or 500,000, but now it's increased, become 2 million. So any company, any enterprises who the offset is below the 2 million offset or economic growth is entitled to have the free halal certification. It's free, so we don't charge any money from that. So if in fact that the would like to, I mean, the small and micro company would like to extend or would like to obtain the halal certificate, I mean, the application can be done through online. We call this Halal or Sehati is already there, and then also in the BPJS, in the agency itself is already set up. We call this the Satgas or because it's Indonesia, level, it's Indonesia. I have to think about that. It's kind of the monitoring agency from the national level, and they come to the coordinating with the dinas, and also coordinating with the bupati, something like that, and then try to encourage all the small and medium enterprises to obtain the halal certificate. And then any assistance given to them, it's free of charge. And then the people who already become assessed has to be trained, and the train also is free. So that's why I invited anybody if you would like interesting to become a friend of AHASE. We will give training, and it's free. It's only an online. So the assistance is already, will give them assistance how to get the ID product, and then also how to obtain and then all the process, it will be guided, it will be monitored, and it will be supervised by us. So in the level national, it has been set up to that. However, if we're talking about last year, government already launched only 1 million halal certificate will be facilitated by free. But in fact, that more than 1 million. So if I don't mistaken, it's 1.5 million. The application from the small and medium, small and micro enterprises want to obtain the halal. So having said that, this year is increased to give the 1,350,000 free of the halal certificate. Perhaps that maybe will be increased. It's only until in the middle of this year, but I wish that it will be increased at the end of the this year, it to become 2,000 or 2 million certification halal by free, and then we call this self-declare. And then Asafia Halal Center have been actively engaged in processing of the halal certification for these small and micro enterprises. So I wish that it will be answer your queries, perhaps.
Yes, all right. Thank you so much, Dr. Yeni, because when we hear about that, also we think that this AHC or the Asafia Halal Center is also one of the real contributions from Asafia to the community, particularly for Indonesians, micro or even ultra micro, small and medium enterprises. And we do hope that every programs under the Halal Center also can run smoothly, and then also achieving the goals in reaching more enterprises to get the halal certification and also align with the national objective. It will be mandatory. Hopefully it will go well. All right, inshallah. All right, alhamdulillah, jazakillahu khairan, Dr. Indarjani, for giving us a very inspiring also keynote speaker in the ISISMA 2026. And now it's the time for the appreciation moment. And as the recognitions and also appreciations, and from the organizing committee, and also on behalf of the Research Synergy Foundation, allowing me to give this very special token of appreciation to our keynote speaker, Dr. Indarjani MSc, as a director of the Institute for Research and Community Service at the Universitas Islam Asy-Syafi'iyah for her great contributions in today knowledge disseminations regarding the halal food industry. All right, so please accept this token of appreciation, Dr. Yeni.